What are some red flags when talking to potential employers? Everyone assures you the dozens of people who had your position before you were simply disgruntled or had political agendas to damage the organization. A bigger one is verbal statements become totally different whenever it becomes a text or email after you start. When they don't offer salary, pay rate info, or are reluctant to give it, or if they imply that you're there for something other than a paycheck. They're trying to guilt you into taking less pay than you're worth. When they hire you on the spot, they're understaffed and you're gonna be doing the work of at least 2 people. I had one retail interview a while back where I aced the initial component with the manager, who flat out told me she wanted to hire me. Then was asked to meet with the area manager. It was a completely different tone. While the store manager was looking for product knowledge and selling techniques, the area manager was all about, how are you going to maximize profit in each transaction, up conversion, and motivate coworkers to hit their targets? Quote, I realize those things are important, but it seemed pushy to the point of desperate, and it was clear the area manager and I did not see eye to eye. I did not get hired. A few months later, the chain declared bankruptcy and the location I'd applied to closed. If they bring up doing work without pay, I'm a former massage therapist and fucking chiros would pull this shit all the time. Run. Don't walk. If someone tries this with you, when they start questioning the legitimacy of your resume. I applied for an IT position, and the director was concerned that I had a decent amount of technical knowledge on it. He said, it brings up a lot of red flags for me when I see this much technical experience on a resume. I'm applying for a specific IT role. What the fuck do you expect to be on there? Finding out they want you to use your personal phone for work. We can start you off at _____ because we are a small business, but we can talk about a raise in 6 months. You will never have that convo. Anytime they use rockstar, ninja, unicorn, or guru to describe a position. Extra neon red flag if they can't easily describe or articulate the duties and responsibilities of the role. Not being able to define what you will be doing in your position. We're like a family. We demand unconditional loyalty. We work hard. We party hard. We expect you to work 60+ hours per week and we will go bowling once a year. A self-starter. We will invest no time and energy in you. You are hired right on the spot and they asking you for money to pay for some program. Here in Seattle, it's air mattresses in offices or mentioning the building has a shower so you don't have to go home. Huge red flag. When the interviewer makes insulting remarks about their current employees. When they don't respect which days you can't work. I've had many a phone interview where, even though on my application I specified that I can't work weekends, they'd say I'd have to work weekends. And I'd just be like, welp, can't help ya there, and end the interview. Just wasting both our time. When you interview with a lot of people but never with anyone from your actual team, it means the team is not okay with the hire. And they're gonna make it about you to sabotage the position. During an interview. Okay, there's this many of you who applied. And only half of you will be accepted. Quote, hires everyone. Run. When you ask a direct questions about pay, promotions, or benefits and they cut you off mid-sentence and change the subject. High turnover. This goes both ways. Either management sucks or they have a ton of bad hires hoping for a good stick. My job is somewhat high turnover. It's a good job. My management is rad. But it's hard work. People want that good check. But come in as a temp and don't make it 1 week. My favorites. Dynamic environment, we are dysfunctional. Have poor training and documentation in place but cover for that with a culture where people run around and expedite everything. We are a family. We all work crazy hours and expect you to as well. Great benefits usually means the salary isn't great but is made up for by other compensation. Not a bad thing per se, but it's a preference thing. If you're all about the salary, it's not for you. Be willing to wear many hats and fill other responsibilities as needed. AKA, we don't have a real job description for you, but we need someone to do the work of 5 people but with the pay of 1. We've had a hard time finding someone who fits in well with our current team. Usually it's because there's something weird or toxic about the current team, and they can't find anyone willing to stay and put up with it. If they don't get your background check done before you start working, they need you so bad that it must be hell in there if they're that understaffed. If they mention hard work more than once, be on alert. You're interviewing for a job. Of course you plan to do work. In 2019 I was between jobs and had over 35 interviews. Only a couple spoke like this. But they both turned out to be commission only. And very scammy. The one guy said, "Well, you won't get a desk job making $50,000 per year salary." What was listed as a sales supervisor role was basically door-to-door insurance sales. With no paid training or ramp-up period. Just trial by fire, working for free until you con people into buying fucking insurance. I said no thanks. And found a desk job making what he said I couldn't. Be aware of the term, wear many hats. It means they aren't sure what they want and your job duties will be largely ambiguous. This could lead to you getting all the work nobody else wants. Or leave you with no clear direction for what to do. This can be good if you are truly a self-starter who looks for opportunities to improve things and acts on them. But if you need direction with your job duties, it's probably best to steer clear. When they compliment you on your looks. The first law firm I worked for was a large firm and I got accepted because of my looks. Everyone in that firm was cheating on their partners with people in the firm. One partner who was 49 was in a relationship with a 22-year-old intern. One of the partners eventually came to me and told me that it's only a matter of time before I cheat on my husband. I quit that job eventually and took a different job that pays much less at a smaller firm further from my home.